Namaste, welcome to Buddha's teaching. Today we're talking about defilements of the mind. What are the defilements? Defilement in the Pali language, we call it kiles. And I believe it's spelled Kiles, kiles. So what are kiles or what are the defiled minds? Our mind is in the default mode. Okay, we are born with a defiled mind. But for us ordinary people, for us normal people, we are not aware of it because we are born with it. We identify ourselves with our mind, which consists of wholesome and unwholesome mind. So the unwholesome mind are what we call the defiled minds. And as we have seen, we have ingredients in the unwholesome group that are the origin, that are the ingredients necessary to have defilements in our mind. So what is defiled minds? Defiled mind can range from gross to very fine, very subtle level. Okay, so the defiled minds are the minds that cause problem. The defiled mind are the mind that is not wholesome. Okay, that can create issue in our lives. Okay, it's just that we are not aware of it. Normally, for us regular lay people, we go through our daily lives. We have mood change. One moment we are normal, we have no problem. One moment we are happy, and one moment we become angry and upset, frustrated, and all of that. So it's a mix of different emotion, different feelings that we have throughout the day and throughout our lives. So that is our normal mind. Okay, and that is the mind that we need to take a look at. If we never study, we never look at our own mind, when we are not aware of this, the operating system that is running, we are bound to suffer. So we have to look at what are the defiled elements that cause us issue. So the defiled mind, the defilements or the kiles, okay, they are the unwholesome ingredients. They are the unwholesome elements that is in our mind that we all as human beings we are born with. So nobody in this world, born into this world, do not have defilement in their mind. Every single one of us have defilement, and that is the default of all of our mind. And so because of that, they take turn come up to surface as we encounter different experiences in our lives, right? We experience one thing, one situation, we smile, we laugh, we are happy. We encounter another situation, different, you hear different sound, different story, different things happen, then we have unwholesome mind rising. So all of these ingredients, it's just like if we compare to the fish in the pond, right? There are many kinds of fish in the pond, and if you can imagine all of those fishes at the bottom of the pond, okay, they are just laying down there at the bottom of the pond. So it depends on the bait. So if somebody throw the bait onto the surface of the pond or the water, and certain fish will come up to bite that bait. Okay, So the bed is the encounter, is the experience that we going and that we run into in our everyday life through our five senses. Okay, we experience our life through our five senses. We see, we hear, we smell, we taste, and we feel the through our physical body here. So those are our experiences, and based on those experiences, we have this emotion that rise up. So the negative emotion create um, that cause defilements. Okay, so the defilements are like the unwholesome element that lie underneath, lie at the bottom of our mind. Okay, and they just wait for the condition. When the condition is right, the emotion rise up. So the defilement rise up depending on the condition that the mind encounter. Okay, so that is the defiled mind. So we all have defiled minds, and if we do not understand, if we have not encountered Buddha's teaching, we would probably just go about our daily lives and be what it is. In another words, when we angry, we just become angry, and that is who we are. We identify ourselves with that very emotion. Okay, that I am angry, I am mad, I am sad, I am jealous, I am envy of you, you know, I am bored, and all of that, all of those defilements that we have, those are who we identify ourselves with. Okay, those are the mind that we identify ourselves with as who we are. Okay, as who we are. That is the way that people look at things, people experience things. That's how people conduct their lives. Okay, but in Buddha's teaching, the Buddha said all of those emotions, all of those feelings, and all that, they are the products of the mind. Okay, the mind arises based on condition. Okay, when the condition is pleasant, when the condition is desirable, then the mind is happy, and vice versa. When the condition is not desirable, the mind becomes not happy. Okay, so it's another word. It's the same thing as have if you have been to, let's say, an amusement park, right? You play game. I don't know if you have ever played the game whack-a-mole. Right? You go whack the mole that that little thing that come up. You go to whack it and it goes down and another one pop up, right? And then you try to whack that one, and then that goes down and the other one pop up. So you keep chasing, you keep whacking the mole, right? And it keep pop up here, and everywhere, right? Here, there. And you keep going, and you can keep going on and on and on, endlessly. You can never uh, keep whack all the mole down. The same thing, our mind is like that. Our mind bubble up, okay, based on the condition that we encounter. So at one time, the bubble or the mole that pop up is a happy emotion, right? Pleasant emotion, pleasant feeling. At another occasion, emotion rise up based on something that we don't like. Okay, so that comes up, and it keep bubbling up like that, one at a time, one at a time, just like that. Okay, and as we go through life, we change our emotion and our feeling according to those pop-up emotion. That is the ordinary mind, and that is default mind, and those are those emotions that pops up. Those are what we call the defilements of our mind. Okay, so become aware of those is the most important things in Buddha's teaching, because the Buddha taught us to become aware of those emotions and to just to understand that those emotions pop up based on condition, based on the experience. Okay, and there's no I in there that is doing the crying, that is doing the laughing, that is doing the angry. There's no I in there. Okay, there is that emotion, and the emotion arise, our mind arise based on different encounter, based on different experiences that we run into. Okay, so those are the defilements. All right, so that the important things that we need to get a hold on. The concept in this particular episode is about the defilements of the mind. Okay, the keyless, what they are. The defilement of the minds are the unwholesome mind that is always lying down at the bottom of our minds, and they just wait for the condition, their condition. When the condition is right, certain defilement will come up. Okay, so the teaching is for us to become aware. Right, when we become aware of the defilements that come up, we can see that okay, there is defilement coming up. Right, and then we can go trace it back. Why is there defilement coming up? All right, rising up. That is the because as why we do that, because the defilement is causing us unhappiness. Right, the defilements of the mind make us not happy. Okay, give us dukkha or suffering, make us not pleasant, do not have pleasant feeling, give us suffering. So what are those defilements? Why they rise up? Okay, what is the attachment that the mind is clinging on to? That, let's say we have some kind of anger rise up. Why is the mind anger? Right, instead of becoming angry and just go along with the emotion, okay, you become aware that okay, there's a anger defilement arise, or upset, or frustration, or jealousy, right, or depressed, or whatever the emotion that rise up. There's always a cause. Okay, and because and when we encounter experience, most of us, we think that whatever we encounter, okay, let's say somebody says something to us, okay, say something to us that is not pleasant to our ear, our anger arise. Right, when our anger arise, automatically the ordinary mind say he or she is the cause of this rising defilement within. Right, so that is that is the key right there. You said he or she is my problem, he or she is causing me suffering, is giving me suffering. Okay, she says something, he said something not pleasant to my ear. Okay, um, he he do something not according to what I want, those kind of things. Okay, so he or she is the cause of my unhappiness. Okay, so the Buddha said, look again. All right, um, the feeling that we have that is arise is inside here. All right, the feeling that we have, the emotion, the defilement of the mind that rise up is inside here. The feeling, the emotion is not out there with the person, it's in here. Okay, so let's say if the person say whatever, but if your emotion belongs to you, okay, belongs to you, When it rise up, you say, oh, this feeling here rise up within me, not within them. Okay, that's important. The defilement of our mind is rise up within ourselves. That it does not rise up in the person who say things to you. All right. So the person who say things to you or give you the dirty look or whatever, they are the experience that we encounter. Okay, they are the experience. So we can call them triggers. All right, they can trigger our emotion here. All right, but our emotion is inside here, not out there. Now we can watch when the emotion rise up. We say, oh, there's defilement, right, of my mind is rising up based on the trigger. Okay, he or she says something, those that is a trigger that trigger the unwholesome defilement, right, inside here to rise. So the unwholesome element within here that is always in here is biting the bait. Okay, so when a person says something to you, that is the bait. They drop a bait, and then the defilement fish, okay, the unwholesome fish that is lying in the pond here, go to grab it. Now it become attached to it, right? And once it launch itself attached to it, now it get hooked. Okay, it get hooked, and then you lost yourself, right? You lost yourself into that emotion already. So watch that. The defilement is within here. It's not outside, right? The keyless is in here. So when the defilement arise, you said, there's anger or whatever arise, and you said, you know, this defilement here is not out there, it's in here. All right. So let's see how far this defilement go. And so instead of reacting to the bait, okay, somebody throw you a harshful word, all right, so that's the bait. Instead of grabbing the bait, instead of biting the bait, and you look at here, okay, how is it doing? How is the defilement? Is there a defilement that wants to rise up to catch the bait, right? Because that's what caused the issue inside here, right? It's not out there. The issue is inside here. All right. So you watch it here. So if there's defilement that rise up, then you say, okay, yes, that is the defiled mind right there. Right? It's within me. So if I want to have a peaceful mind, then I just watch this. Instead of respond to the bait, okay, you don't respond and you watch here instead. And then you follow, you say, okay, there's defilement, and then see how far it goes. If you watch it, and after a while, as you know, the mind change, right? Like a mole, it rise up and it goes down. It rise and it goes down. So if you watch this defilement, the anger or whatever emotion that wants to rise up, you watch it instead of responding to there, you watch it here, and then and all of a sudden, it just goes away. Okay, it just goes away. After a while, you see it. You see the mind, the emotion does like that all the time. It wants to rise up and then it goes away. Rise up and it goes away. So after a while, you said, okay. So the defilement is in here. When I'm not happy, it's in here. It's not that I'm not happy out there. I'm not happy in here. So this is where I need to look at, not out there. It whatever they say, okay, it doesn't matter. That is there because everyone is born with defiled mind, right? So what they say comes from their defiled mind. Okay, so you have your own defiled mind to look after. So if your defiled mind want to rise up, you say, okay, there's a defilement right there that wants to rise up. So you watch it and it go away by itself. This is how you keep the peace inside you instead of going with this uh, crazy emotion all the time that we have been doing throughout our lives, that we've been conducting this way throughout our lives, instead of reacting right quick, just like that. You boom, the bait come, the unwholesome fish go grab it right away. It's like racing toward. So there are a lot of people who snap really fast. So that's they have a hot temper because they snap very fast. They respond very fast. Those are the people who normally have a lot of issue because they are full of commotion inside. There's no peace because the defilement keep coming, jumping up so fast, so often. It's like a water bubble. It's like a boiling water that bubble all the time. It's it's very stressful. But if you learn how to watch this bubble, right, and just watch it go back down, just watch it go back down, this bubble will become less and less, right? Instead of bubble, like a boiling water all the time. If you keep watching this, instead of responding, you keep watching this bubble. After a while, this bubble will become less, right? It will become less and less and less. And this is the road to a peaceful, calm life, right? After a while, the bubble is no more. Okay, the bubble is no more. Then that is when you finally have peace within. Okay, now I know there's some question that say, okay, so you just let people say whatever, or you become a doormat, right? Let people walk all over you and all. It's not like that. Okay, there are times that you need to respond, but you respond in a different manner. Not You do not respond with emotion. All right, so it's different reality. You do not respond, you do not react with emotion. Okay, you do not do things harshly. You you do when you think it's appropriate or need to say certain thing, but you do out of a different realm of thinking, out of different way of understanding. Because now that after you understand yourself first, that there's defilement within that always keep bubbling up like this. After you understand yourself first, that you have defilement inside. After you understand yourself first, then you know that he or she also have the defilement inside that keeps bubbling up, and that's why he or she is not at peace, just like you have been not at peace. Okay, so once you achieve peace within you, you say, oh, that's the reason why I did not never have peace before, because I allowed this to happen. The same happens to other people. And now I can see this. Now I can see that other people say certain things, do certain things based on the bubbling, based on the defilements that is happening inside them, just like what you have been doing. Now, when you start to understand, when you understand yourself, you start to understand others. Okay, when you understand others, then you have a different way of approaching, of responding to people, instead of the habit of reacting with emotion that we call defilements of the mind. Okay, so that's the message for this episode: defilements of the mind. If you find it beneficial, subscribe for future video, and you can leave me a comment or a suggestion down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer you. Until next time, I like to pay respect to the triple gems. I like to pay respect to the Buddha. I like to pay respect to the Dharma, and I like to pay respect to the Sangha. Namaste.